Was finding community hard for you in London?
I think for me, yes and no. No, because I wasn't looking for a community, I'll be so for real. And yes, because the reason why I wasn't looking for a community is because in order to be in a community, you need to be vulnerable with other people.
Right.
And you have to
Yep.
kind of also be dependent on them sometimes. And I hated the idea of being like that.
I feel like vulnerability for me, I've learned over the years, it requires the element of trust.
Oh, yeah.
And us as humanity, we abandon that so much and we actually abuse it, because one day you could be like best buddies with someone and then the next day, all of a sudden, they're not there. And I feel like if we misuse trust, how much more difficult can it be for us to really put ourselves out there? But I don't know.
And I think, yeah, but it comes from a spirit of abandonment. I think
Right.
as humans, no matter what, we're not perfect. We're going to
Yep.
abandon somebody and
Right.
somebody's going to abandon us.
That's
But if
true.
you carry that spirit with you, it stops you from going into relationships,
Stops
it stops you
opening
going,
doors, yeah.
going into friendships.
Right.
And that's what it did for me.
Right.
So,
I feel like for me, a big story of mine was that, I used to be the kind of person who sat behind in church. I used to never really
Same.
put myself out there. And then one day, I think it was a time when I actually understood what community actually meant. I was like, one day I just came up and I was like, let me just be bold, strong and courageous. Let me just say, point me to where young adults is, point me to where this group is, and I'm just gonna go. And honestly, after that, I didn't have to do much.
Yeah.
Because like it's about the inception that counts, the beginning that counts, and then everything else. If they're the right community, right, everything will fall into place. People will start to multiply, and you realize that this is actually a community that you can trust. It takes time to build trust, but if that is being built, that's how you can tell this is a real community that I can rely on and even share my doubts, my worries, my anxieties with, and it won't be it won't be taken offensively.
it's a domino effect. When you talk to
Yeah.
one person, they lead you to another person and
Yes.
then another person. And
Yep.
before you know it, you're surrounded by people who are there for you, who
Yeah.
want to know more about you,
Yeah.
and they reflect the love of Christ. And at the end of the
Yes.
day, I think for me, that is what I found community to be. It's people
Right.
who I can go to, who are living embodiments of who my Father is.
Yes, because I think the foundation of Christ is so beautiful. Like, he'll never leave you nor forsake you.
Yeah.
He is love, he's justice, he's kind.
Yeah.
And if he is that, and we look to him as a role model, and people follow his ways, how much more edifying would that friendship group be?